With Counter-Strike now being older than some of its players' mums, weird stuff starts to happen. Like how some of the insults held online might potentially be true, and stuff like that. But other things also begin to occur, like how the same teams are around for so long that all of their original players retire, grow old and die, and are replaced with newer and younger players. Indeed, nothing stays the same. A team's players can change, its nationalities can change, and even the team's logos can change. At what point is it no longer the same team anymore? Let's leave that dilemma to shipbuilding and just point and laugh at some of the silliest logos over the years. A moment of praise for the teams that have remained consistent. There's a lot to be said for a logo that stands the test of time. Na'Vi's has remained recognisable, but it used to have more writing underneath it, and back before most of you were even born, in like 2010, it was black and white with a yellow background. But still definitely Na'Vi. Compared with, say, this. What the fuck, Hellraisers? Your logo used to be so much better. Hope you didn't pay someone to do that for you. Fanatics has been recognisable for over 20 years, but in 2020 suffered slightly from modern simplification, and I pine for the beautiful, more stylised look of the old design again. Check out how browser logos have gone the same way. Ignore the oldest Firefox logo, it was drunk. Bit by bit, the fox has lost its detail. I propose the next version be something like this. Pay me $100,000 please. Chrome's gone the same way, and our dreams of a more realistic, elaborate future have been replaced with simple blobby colours. Does this represent the brain rot of the internet? Or the fact that in order to stand out these days you need to make yourself look stupid? Maybe they have too much money and needs to squander it all on endless redesigns. One redesign I'm less decided about is Microsoft's browser. Don't get me wrong, nothing's ever going to beat the 256 colour design. But it's always just been a blue E, so at least the new one has more colours going into it. It's got an interesting shape, but if someone asked me if it was a letter E, I'd be like, no, it's a recycling symbol, just like all other browsers are. Evil geniuses. This team actually went the other way. Even back in the 90s, it had a logo that I think would stand the test of time today, a simple shape that vaguely spells out the team's initials. But then, in 2020, when all logos seemingly went insane, to great fanfare and anticipation, they unveiled this. And nobody liked it. Apart from me, because I don't actually mind the stylized V, which everybody can agree is the evilest letter in the alphabet. So they soon reverted back to something more like their original one again, only rotated by 45 degrees and with some pointy bits. And now I don't know which one they're using, because it seems like different evil genius teams use different logos. ENCE, I think, have improved their logo, because the old ones looked a little bit washed out, like they were lost in the fog or something. At least now they're bolder and more distinct, and retain what made their design unique in the first place. Although the old one is definitely a squid folding its arms, while the new one looks more like he's got his mouth wide open. No, squid, you're meant to be doing that to other people. Let me fix it. There we go, now he's just nice and friendly. Complexity. What is their logo? Try to imagine it. You can't because they keep changing it. This was the original, this was the high quality 3D render edition of the original, this was it afterwards, and then someone finally filled the L with white just like the rest of the word and claimed it was a new design. And then, finally, oh wait, no, this year they went back to the old design again. Make your mind up, complexity, stop being so unsimple. Mouse. I don't like their logos, but they're definitely very distinctive. Question is, what do you see this old logo being? Is it a big toothless mouse with an ear piercing facing this way? Or is it a mouse facing this way trying to catch a Tic Tac in its mouth? Not that it matters anymore because now it's just a cheap knockoff of the Disney logo. Please don't sue me. Dignitas have been around since 2003, but good luck finding any evidence of that, for that's an era full of dead links and text, and frustratingly few images of their logo from the time. But I did find this one from, I think, 2004, where they were sponsored by A-Bit. So it looks like they've had their ghost, ninja, sperm logo since near the very beginning. Which begs the question, what were they thinking when they changed it to this? They soon learned that people weren't happy with this rebrand, so they went and trolled everybody even more with this, meaning that their players walked around with Dig on their shirts for a while. And then they eventually returned to the ethereal sperm bubble that we all know and love them for today. Shout out to another Dignitas for having a motto the Counter-Strike team could learn a few things from. For a team sporting an epic knight's helmet, I don't think Heroic have ever found a representation of it that they're happy with. Their green logos were obviously the best, with a recognisable helmet, cool green colour schemes, and words saying who they are, which they've lost in subsequent rebrands. Don't get me wrong, I like that the new helmet sort of spells out an H for heroic, but I think they should do another rebrand again, just to see if they can get it right this time. Here's one I drew earlier. I just know there's a way to add an H shape to the knight's face. This is the sort of logo you should be using, heroic, only maybe slightly more polished than this one. One design that I think is already very good is Virtus Pro's. Their bear is iconic, loved. Does it have glowing eyes or not? That's one thing they can't decide on. But it's a bear, right? And usually an angry looking polar bear one, although for a brief while it was a panda. But it used to be something very different. Allow me to introduce you to the one they started with. It's lovely in its own way, a relic of its time and a testament to their loyalty to Counter-Strike, but I think I prefer the bear. But here was their first bear logo. It's a bit dated with the rendered shield design. I still kind of like it, being a product of its time and a remnant of a simpler era, back when logos looked more complicated. iBuyPower's logo has remained the same since 2015. Some teams are content simply changing the colour of their logo. Australis' red logo got a bit redder, Vitality simply can't decide on a shade of yellow for theirs, and FaZe and G2 went through a fun multicoloured phase. But FaZe packed that all in and changed it to red to represent their financial situation, and the French team, G2, returned to a colour that everybody knows France for. North ironically changed direction, and so did Spirit, whose logo versions are so different that they're virtually unrecognisable. And now we get to some real sins. I present to you Gambit. Oh no! Skull? Pirate? Clown? Why does he have a star for his nose? This isn't how logos work. You can't just shoehorn your logo into a face and expect it to work. Their other designs have been a bit better. I like the way they've made their shield into a G shape, and the current logo is simple, effective, and won't commit atrocities at children's parties. For a team called Ninjas in Pyjamas, their logo has never really capitalised on that vivid imagery. NiP's original logo is all but unrecognisable. I can't even tell what it's trying to say. Pi? Ip? Pip? The next makes the writing more obvious, but it just makes me think of erection pills. Then they went into their abstract phase, happy with a complicated pointy pattern that is maybe a shuriken? Shuriken? Anyway, in their latest logo design, I think I can just about make out the letters NIP, but it's a bit of a mess. That's probably why they just have the name of their clan underneath. Tyloo, the Chinese team, have had two excellent dragon logos over the years. The first is this one, it's fabulous and it knows it, and the second is also very good and distinctly Chinese in style. I love them. Keep doing what you're doing, Tyloo. Although it is a dragon, it's hard to make them look bad.